Hello students and welcome to the class of economics. I am Mrs. Hansa Pawar from New Catholic Mission School, Jhabua. As you all know that we have started chapter 1 in first two videos. Now in this video we will move with chapter 2nd, and why? Because this is part 1 of chapter 2nd. In chapter 1 we have continued with certain concept or certain topics, but there is one topic in chapter 1 which we have left, and it is because that was production possibility frontier. Okay, and why we have left that topic? Because it has been deleted by CBSE board. So because of that, because that topic will not be going to come in your final exams, in the reduced syllabus or curriculum, that topic is being eliminated, okay, deleted. So we are not going to study that topic. It's not going to come in your exams. Okay, so today in this video we will start with chapter 2nd, that is consumers equilibrium. Okay, so this is part 1 of chapter 2nd, and these are the contents which we are going to finish, that is introduction part and the concept of utility. When we say consumers equilibrium, as the name suggests, consumer means who are consumer? We all are consumers, because we are consuming or using or purchasing certain goods and services to satisfy our certain needs and wants. Okay, as you are going to market to purchase certain things, chocolates, biscuits and so on, stationery items or grocery items. So as according to that you are consumer. So we all are consuming certain goods and services which are available in the market. So accordingly we all are consumers. Then it comes to equilibrium. When we say equilibrium means it is something, a balance between two or more than two things, okay, two aspects. So it brings equilibrium, that is equality or balancing between two or more than two things. So the introduction part of this chapter is, a consumer is one who buys goods and services. That means as a consumer he is buying or purchasing certain goods and services from the market just for the satisfaction of his or her own wants. Okay, he takes his decisions regarding the kind of goods to be purchased. As a consumer, when you are going to market, okay, suppose you are going to market, you wanted to purchase a chocolate, okay, so there are variety of chocolates available in the market. Now there will be a confusion in your mind with the availability of money, that means how much money you have got, and from that money what kind of chocolate you can purchase or which kind of chocolate you can purchase, that you have to decide. That means you need to involve yourself in decision making regarding what kind of goods or what kind of chocolates you want to purchase from that money. So he aims to get maximum satisfaction, that is each and every consumer, okay, he wants to gain or he wants to get maximum benefit out of the limited resources which we have. As I said, we have discussed in the previous videos that human beings, we have never ending wants, unlimited wants we have, but the resources to have that goods, it is very limited. Say for example, the money which is available with you, it is very limited. You have only 100 rupees in your hand. Okay, you went to market to purchase certain chocolates. Okay, so with that 100 rupees, what kind of goods or what kind of chocolate you can purchase, you will purchase that only. You will not demand for the chocolate of 120 rupees. Why? Because that extra 20 rupees you don't have right now. Okay, so you need to purchase the chocolates from that 100 rupees only. If you want to save from that, that means you want to purchase out of 100, you want to purchase only chocolate of 80 rupees, then you could save 20 rupees, that will be your saving. It's good. Okay, so you need to see that your resources are limited, you have variety of products available in the market. It is the decision which is taken by you as a consumer. So as a wise consumer, you will purchase only that goods. आप वही goods purchase करेंगे जो आपको maximum satisfaction दे, right? Okay, so he aims to get, or a consumer aims to get maximum satisfaction from spending his income on various goods and services. As I said, there are variety of goods and services available in the market. It is you who will decide that what kind of goods will give me more satisfaction. Okay, now the concept of utility. When we say utility, the general meaning, if you will search in the dictionary, the general meaning of the word utility can be usefulness. That is what kind of use a particular product is providing. In terms of business, we say utility is something related to the use. It can be like a car, okay, any four-wheeler. It is providing you place utility. Place utility how? That it is actually with the help of that car you can move from one place to another. The wristwatch which you have, it is providing you time utility. So it can be various products available in the market which is providing you certain utility, that is usefulness in terms of satisfying your wants or needs. So the want, if we talk about the definition of meaning, actual definition of the meaning utility, it can be the want satisfying power or capacity of a commodity is known as utility. That is, what is utility? It is having a power, any product which has a power or capacity of satisfying the human want, that is called as utility. Like this particular board has got a capacity or satisfying a student's need or a teacher's need. Okay, so this particular product can satisfy or any having a capacity of satisfying the needs of any consumer who is using this. So it has utility. Okay, this product, it is the satisfaction which is expected or derived from the consumption. That is, it is a kind of satisfaction which we are getting, which we are deriving or taking out from using that particular product or consumption of a commodity. As I consume that product, I got a utility. Say for example, I am craving more for some sweet, okay, any sweet, okay. So if I eat that sweet or a chocolate or any kind of sweets, as I ate that, my craving for that sweet product, it will satisfy completely. Okay. Utility differs from person to person. Then of course it makes sense that each and every individual, what a particular product is giving you more satisfaction, but it cannot provide more satisfaction to the second person. So it is not possible. It is a different aspect, a lookout or vision from, it differs from person to person, individual to individual. So it depends on each person, on each individual, that which kind of product will give him more satisfaction. It is actually differing from place to place also, that is people of India and people of America, okay, or Australia or any other country. We have different culture, we have different demands, different wants, different products can satisfy us. It is not all the same. So it differs from place to place, it differs from time to time. Like this is monsoon season, we require more of umbrellas, raincoats and so on. So our demand for certain product differs. But when it comes to winter season, our demand for more woolen clothes will increase. So the demand for certain product by consumers, it differs from person to person, place to place, and it from time to time. When a commodity is capable of satisfying human want, that is, when a certain commodity or product is able or capable to satisfy your human want, then the commodity has got a utility. Say for example, a piece of chalk, it can satisfy a need or want of a teacher when he wanted to write something on the board. So the chalk has got certain utility. This board has got the utility. Why? Because I can read this, I can explain you through this. Okay, so each and every product has got a utility when he is, or when that product is able to satisfy the needs of the human wants or the consumer. Now how can we measure utility? One question which will arise in your mind, that can we measure this utility? That is, can we measure the usefulness? If I am craving for mangoes, say for example, I like mangoes, okay, I am craving for mangoes. As I eat that mango, the satisfaction which I have got, can I measure that? Of course no. If generally we can say it is no, but certain few economists, because to simplify this thing, just to understand the consumer's behavior and each and every product, what kind of utility they are providing to certain consumers, to measure that, they have laid certain concepts, okay, they have laid certain standards, and that standard is called as utils, okay, which is able to, it is not a standard measurement, but it is able to give you a particular number in numerical form for the satisfaction which is provided to you. So utility can be measured as height or weight. Just like we are measuring the height and weight of human being, we can actually measure the utility also. For this, some economists have assumed, okay, it's mere assumption, we cannot actually measure utility, okay, we cannot measure the satisfaction level. It can be more or it can be less, but exact number we cannot measure. But still certain economists have laid down certain theory that utility can be measured in cardinal numbers. Now cardinal means numerical number, it can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. By using this cardinal measurement of utility, it is possible to numerically estimate. That means it is possible, it is made possible by certain economists to learn, to come to know or understand about what kind of utility is provided by certain product, or we can numerically estimate the utility which a consumer derive from consumption of certain goods and services. Okay, say for example you are using a deo or a perfume, what kind of satisfaction you are getting after consuming that product or after using that product. We cannot numerically express this, but because of certain economists, they have laid down a cardinal numbers, that is numerical number. With the help of those numerical number, by assigning the numerical number, we can estimate the utility. As there was no standard unit for measuring, so the economists derived a term which is known as utils. Okay. Now this, but utils we cannot take as a standard unit. This particular term utils we cannot take as a standard unit of measurement, as it will vary. That means it is changing from person to person. As I said, we all human beings, we do not are fond of one common thing. Okay, we have different variety of needs, different wants. Our taste, habit, our liking, disliking differs from one another. Okay, so this utils cannot be used as a standard measurement. Why? Because our satisfaction level varies from person to person. Hence, several economists, including Alfred Marshall, suggested the measurement of utility. That means he suggested the measurement of utility in monetary terms. When we say monetary terms, means it is related to money. That is the price level of certain product. Okay. So he laid down the theory of that we can measure this with the help of monetary terms. It means utility can be measured in terms of money. That means in terms of money or price of the product, we can actually measure the utility which the consumer is willing to pay. To understand its meaning properly, we need to discuss two important aspects, that is marginal utility and total utility. Now please focus on whatever I am teaching you. When it comes to total utility, as the name suggests, total utility, total usefulness. Okay, now it refers to the total satisfaction which as a consumer I am getting by consuming certain one unit or two units or more than that units of one single product. Say for example, if I say that I am fond of eating apples, okay. So if I have 7 apples or 5 apples in my hand, as I am consuming one apple, then second, then third, then 4 and 5, total 5 apples if I will consume, what kind of satisfaction I am getting? That is my total satisfaction after consumption of 5 units of apple. That will be called as total utility. That is, it refers to total satisfaction obtained from the consumption of all the units of a particular good or commodity. It can be apple, it can be mangoes, it can be any other thing. Okay. So when you consume all the total 5, 6, 7 or it can be more than that, if you consume all the units of that single commodity, the satisfaction which you will get, we will total that satisfaction. That will be called as a, or we can have a summation of that utility. It can be called as a total utility. This total utility can be calculated as utility from first product. If we will add this utility of second, then we will add with utility of third product and so on, unlimited. That means why it is unlimited? Because we can have 5 products, depends on person to person. You can consume 5 apples, you can consume 7, you can consume 8 or you can consume only 3. Okay, depends on person to person. So whatever units of single commodity you are consuming, the total of that will be considered as, referred to as total utility. Now here N is called as a number of units consumed, or we can say that total utility can be, this sign is called as summation, sum of. Okay, so it can be summation of all marginal utilities. Now we will discuss marginal utilities also. So it is summation of all the marginal utilities. It can be considered as total utility. Total utility is summation of all marginal utilities. The utility derived from the first unit can be called as, that is, when I ate the first apple, the utility which I got, the satisfaction which I got, that will be called as a initial utility. Total utility is 0 at 0 level of consumption. That means if I have 5 apples in my hand, I have not eaten a single apple. So my utility will be 0. No consumption, no utility. Okay. Now marginal utility, as I said, marginal utility, or we can call it only utility, okay. It refers to the additional utility which we derive from the consumption of one more unit of the given commodity. That means I have eaten first apple, okay. When I consume the second apple, this after adding the second apple to my satisfaction, it is an addition of one more unit to my single unit. That means now I have eaten 2 apples. So that additional utility which I derive from consumption of the second unit or from the successive unit of one more unit of that commodity can be called as marginal utility. It can be calculated in 2 ways. It can be calculated as total utility of nth unit minus total utility of nth minus 1. Now, or we can calculate this as change in total utility divided by change in number of units. Change in total utility, this is a sign of del, that we can call it as change in total utility divided by change in the quantity or the number of units. Now let us discuss with the help of the table and the diagram, then it will be easy for you to understand what I am wanted to teach you. For example, as I said, because of cardinal measurement or because of Alfred Marshall or certain other economists, they have laid down the theory that we can measure utility in terms of monetary value, price, okay. So we can imagine or we can assume that suppose you are fond of eating ice cream, okay, you like to eat ice cream. Now you started consuming ice cream one by one, that means you have whatever cups of ice cream you have wanted to consume that. We assume that here, make notice that we assume that 1 util is equal to 1 rupees. That means we imagine that the utils is the standard of measurement, measuring the satisfaction level what a consumer is getting. So we assume that 1 util is equal to 1 rupees. Now units of ice cream which is consumed by you, say for example it can be 1 second ice cream, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th ice cream. So there are 6 cups of ice cream, okay, which I have consumed or which you have consumed as a consumer. Now this is marginal utility. That means when I consume the first unit of ice cream, I have got this much utility in numbers, okay. In numbers I have got 20 utility. Then as I consume the second ice cream, the utility which I derive from it is 16. It is actually less now. It is reduced from 20 to 16 because I was craving for ice cream. The first ice cream or the scoop which I have eaten, it gives me immense satisfaction, okay. So, say for example, if you are very thirsty, okay, आपको प्यास लग रही है, बहुत प्यास लग रही है, गर्मी का मौसम है, बहुत प्यास लग रही है. If you wanted to, when you drink the first glass of water or you have taken a first sip of the water, okay, so as you have drink that first glass of water, it will give you immense satisfaction. वो आपको काफ़ी सारा satisfaction देगा. फिर आपने सेकेंड ग्लास ऑफ वाटर, एक और ग्लास आपने पिया, वो आपको पहले ग्लास से सेटिस्फैक्शन थोड़ा कम देगा. देन आपने एक और तीसरा ग्लास आपने पानी पिया, वो आपको थोड़ा सा कंपेरेटिवली सेकेंड से भी कम सेटिस्फैक्शन देगा. इट हैपन्स विथ वी ऑल, ओके. सो द सेटिस्फैक्शन इट इज़ गोइंग टू डिमिनिश, ओके. ये एक नेचर का वो है, रीज़न है कि आपका जो सेटिस्फैक्शन लेवल है एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट से, जब आप उसे लगातार कंज्यूम करेंगे, है ना, हर सक्सेसिव यूनिट कंज्यूम करेंगे, इट इज़ गोइंग टू डिक्रीज, इट इज़ गोइंग टू डिमिनिश, ओके. सेम वे आफ्टर कंज्यूमिंग 1 unit of, when you get 1 unit of ice cream, the utils was 20. Then second ice cream as you consume, the satisfaction which you derive, that is marginal utility, was 16. As you consume the third ice cream, your satisfaction level again diminishes from 16 to 10. As you eat fourth ice cream, your satisfaction again diminishes from 10 to 4. And it is keep on diminishing till the fifth ice cream. When you have eaten fifth ice cream, now you are no more ready to eat the ice cream, है ना, आपका आइसक्रीम खाने से मन भर गया है, ओके, यू डोंट वांट टू ईट एनी मोर आइसक्रीम. सो दिस फिफ्थ कप ऑफ आइसक्रीम विल नॉट बी गोइंग टू गिव यू एनी सेटिस्फैक्शन. ये आपको बिल्कुल भी सेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं देगा, इसलिए हम सेटिस्फैक्शन को यहाँ क्या मान रहे हैं, ज़ीरो, है ना. जब आपने सिक्स्थ आइसक्रीम, फिर अगेन आपने एक और सिक्स्थ कप ऑफ आइसक्रीम जैसे ही खाया, आपको उससे बिल्कुल भी सेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं मिला, और सेटिस्फैक्शन भी नहीं मिला और उल्टा नेगेटिव सेटिस्फैक्शन आपको मिला. सो वी विल मार्क इट एज -6. दैट मीन्स in the when you have eaten fifth ice cream, your satisfaction was no more, आपको कोई भी satisfaction नहीं मिला, but उसके बाद अगर again आपने forcefully ज़बरदस्ती आपने एक और आइसक्रीम का कप खाने की कोशिश करी तो आपको उससे negative satisfaction मिलेगा. It happens with every person. Okay, so these are the marginal utility. What we see after consuming each and every successive unit of ice cream, the marginal utility is going to diminish always. It is never increases, it always diminishes. Okay, this is law of marginal utility. Now total utility, what we understand that as marginal utility is diminishing, total utility is going to increase only. अगर आपकी marginal utility diminish होती है, satisfaction level एक उससे अगली यूनिट खाने पर, फिर उससे अगली यूनिट, हर सक्सेसिव यूनिट खाने पर आपको उससे मिलने वाला जो सेटिस्फैक्शन है वो डिमिनिश होगा, बट टोटल यूटिलिटी क्या होगी, इंक्रीज होगी. एंड व्हाट वी नोटिस इन द फर्स्ट व्हेन यू हैव ईटन द फर्स्ट आइसक्रीम, बिकॉज उसके पहले आपने कोई आइसक्रीम का कंजम्पशन नहीं करा है, सो वी मार्क इट जीरो. सो आपकी टोटल यूटिलिटी का फॉर्मूला हमने क्या पढ़ा था, इट इज सम ऑफ ऑल मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी. ओके, तो क्योंकि इसके ऊपर कोई मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी नहीं है, क्योंकि हमने कुछ कंज्यूम ही नहीं करा है, तो आपकी फर्स्ट जो यूनिट है टोटल यूटिलिटी विल बी 20 ओनली. ओके, व्हेन यू हैव ईटन सेकेंड आइसक्रीम, जैसे आपने सेकेंड कप आइसक्रीम खाया, आपको 16 यूटिलिटी मिली, 16 नंबर. दिस 20 प्लस 16 इज 36. ओके, सो व्हाट वी नोटिस कि टोटल यूटिलिटी इट इज समेशन ऑफ मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी, सम ऑफ ऑल मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी. इस पॉइंट तक सिर्फ दो ही आपने कंज्यूम करें आइसक्रीम, तो इन दोनों को जब हम प्लस करेंगे 20 प्लस 16 यू विल गेट 36. ओके, व्हेन यू हैव कंज्यूम थर्ड आइसक्रीम, द मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी और सेटिस्फैक्शन यू गॉट वाज 10. नाउ 20 प्लस 16 प्लस 10 इज 46. देन फोर्थ आपने कंज्यूम करा आइसक्रीम का स्कूप, यू हैव गॉट derived fourth number of utility. Now 46 plus 4 is 50. Then fifth ice-cream, इस fifth ice-cream के कप ने आपको कोई भी satisfaction नहीं दिया, so we mark it as 0 and 50 plus 0 is 50 only. As you have eaten sixth ice-cream, जब आपने sixth ice-cream का कप खाया, आपको negative utility मिली, that means you do not like the ice cream, that cup of ice cream, so आपको negative utility मिली और उसके बाद आपने उसका consumption पूरी तरह से बंद कर दिया. Now 50 minus 6 is 44. So here like this you can get the total utility, sum of all marginal utility. Now with the help of diagram we are going to understand that this is total utility. On OY axis we have shown total utility, on OX axis we are showing the number of units of ice cream which we have consumed, and the curve which we are getting, we can see that the total utility, it is always increasing, total utility which is always increasing. Now second diagram or second figure is of marginal utility. Now OY axis we are having marginal utility, on OX axis हमने show करा है number of units of ice cream which have been consumed. Now what we can see that the curve is downward sloping, and why it is downward sloping, what we can notice in marginal utility, it is constantly decreasing, diminishing, so the curve is downward sloping. At fifth point of ice cream, when you have consumed fifth cup of ice cream, you have got 0 utility, that is why it comes here, 0 marginal utility. And after that when you consume the sixth unit of ice cream, you got negative utility, so the curve is coming here. Now here you can have negative marginal utility, that means when you consume the sixth unit of ice cream or sixth cup of ice cream, you got negative marginal utility. Up to fifth you got 0 marginal utility. Then rest of you can see that if we combine this we can get this kind of curve. So when total utility and marginal utility curve both are combined, at which point, at fifth ice cream, that means at fifth cup of ice cream, we can see what we notice is marginal utility is 0, whereas total utility is at its maximum. That means at this particular fifth cup of ice cream, in the diagram we can say this is total utility, this is marginal utility. Marginal utility is at its negative, that means it is 0. Okay, no such number of satisfaction it has got, but marginal total utility is at its maximum, that is 50. Okay, so we can say or we can understand or we can conclude with this diagram and table With the help of this schedule and diagram, we can derive three conclusions. That is, marginal utility goes on diminishing. That is, as each and every successive, हर अगली यूनिट आपने आइसक्रीम की जैसे आपने खाना कंटिन्यू करा, कंज्यूम करना शुरू करा, उससे मिलने वाला जो सेटिस्फैक्शन है या यूटिलिटी है, इट इज़ डिक्रीजिंग, वो डिमिनिश होती गई, कम होती गई, एज मोर एंड मोर यूनिट्स ऑफ आइसक्रीम आर कंज्यूम्ड. और टोटल यूटिलिटी इंक्रीज विथ इंक्रीज इन कंजम्पशन. जैसे जैसे आपने अपना कंजम्पशन बढ़ाते गए, पहली आइसक्रीम, सेकेंड आइसक्रीम, थर्ड आइसक्रीम, उससे मिलने वाला जो आपका टोटल यूटिलिटी है, इट इज़ गोइंग टू इंक्रीज. यानी यहाँ दोनों के बीच में इनडायरेक्ट इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप है. मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी विल डिमिनिश whereas total utility will increase with an increase in consumption of a commodity as long as marginal utility is positive. जब तक marginal utility positive है तब तक total utility बढ़ता रहेगा. That is still only fourth cup of ice cream. After that, what happened at the fifth cup of ice cream? Marginal utility was 0 and total utility was its maximum, that is 50. Now in this phase total utility increases at diminishing rate. टोटल यूटिलिटी बढ़ रहा है बट फिर डिमिनिशिंग रेट में बढ़ेगा एज मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी फ्रॉम ईच सक्सेसिव यूनिट इज ऑल्सो डिमिनिशिंग. सेकेंड कंक्लूजन विच वी गॉट इज व्हेन टोटल यूटिलिटी रीचेस इट्स मैक्सिमम. जब टोटल यूटिलिटी मैक्सिमम पर थी तब मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी वॉज एट 0. ओके, so we can say marginal utility becomes 0 at that point when fifth ice cream is consumed. Now this is known as the point of maximum satisfaction. ये जो point है इसे हम point of maximum satisfaction कहेंगे. Which point of maximum satisfaction? This point of maximum satisfaction, or we can call this a point of satiety, point of complete satisfaction. Complete satisfaction, that means 50, जो maximum satisfaction which you have got after consuming the fifth cup of ice cream. After that what happened? Your satisfaction, even total utility is decreasing. यहाँ तक आपकी total utility बढ़ती गई, but जैसे ही आपने सिक्स्थ कप ऑफ आइसक्रीम खाया मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी हो गई नेगेटिव और टोटल यूटिलिटी भी डिमिनिश हो गई. ओके, सो दिस वॉज कॉल्ड एज द पॉइंट ऑफ मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फैक्शन. फिफ्थ कप ऑफ आइसक्रीम ने आपको मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फैक्शन दिया. उसके बाद अगर आप कंज्यूम करेंगे, फोर्सफुली ज़बरदस्ती खाएंगे, तो आपका यूटिलिटी मार्जिनल भी और टोटल यूटिलिटी भी डिमिनिश होगा. ओके, नाउ दिस इज नोन एज द पॉइंट ऑफ मैक्सिमम सेटिस्फैक्शन और पॉइंट ऑफ सैटिटी. टोटल यूटिलिटी कर्व स्टॉप्स राइजिंग एट दिस स्टेज. इस स्टेज पर टोटल यूटिलिटी कर्व विल स्टॉप राइजिंग. ओके, दिस इज टोटल यूटिलिटी कर्व. इस पॉइंट तक मैक्सिमम राइज हो रहा है, इसके बाद यानी सिक्स्थ कप ऑफ आइसक्रीम के बाद टोटल यूटिलिटी कर्व भी डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग होने लगेगा, बढ़ेगा नहीं. ओके, when consumption is increased beyond the point of satiety, that means if you are consuming beyond the satisfaction, आपको complete satisfaction मिल गया है, उसके बाद भी अगर आप उसे consume कर रहे हैं, so total utility will start falling as marginal utility becomes negative. What we can say, total utility is falling and marginal utility already negative हो चुकी है. Okay, now this is all about today's topic. Meeting you in the next topic. I hope you do understand the things. If you have any problem, you can ask me. Till then, thank you. Goodbye.